Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of His Keith's Opinion here at the Power of Offense. And today, I must say happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there and stepfathers. Yes, that includes you, Dr. Boyce Watkins, stepdaddy. Yeah, happy Father's Day, y'all. And I want to show y'all what my children got me for Father's Day. So here we go. My daughter, right? She made this for me. Yes, she did. She made this for me. And let me show you what my goddaughter made. My goddaughter, she made this one for me. See? And then my children also got me some cards. So right here is a card for my girls. Yes, indeed. They say, Dad, you're like Batman. So this came from them. And then my son, he got me this card. I think this card is pretty cool because it's a card with cards inside of it. But yeah, you know, my children gave me these things for Father's Day, and I feel blessed. Again, like I said, I appreciate glory. I love glory, and my children gives me plenty of glory. Okay. So here we go. Before I get started, I also want to say I have a new mic, right? It was requested that I upgrade the mic because my last mic was trash, and I did. So I upgraded it, right? So here we go. Brand new mic. I'm ready to get it in. So today we're going to discuss the spirit of the stepdaddy, right? We're going to discuss why a childless man should never date nor marry a baby mama. Okay. So don't listen to that bullshit advice coming from Dr. Boyce Watkins and the like. Don't do it, because being a stepfather is a thankless job. It is. It is. Right? You don't get no glory. So here we go. Fair use, fair use. Case study, Maury Povich.
Adult children demanding the DNA truth. An incredible Maury original starts now. Everyone welcome Glenda to the Maury Show. Now, this story is a 34-year-old DNA mystery.
Wow. 34-year-old DNA mystery. 34 years, y'all. Wow. But let's keep going.
Backstage is Glenda's daughter, Keisha, who has never known who her biological father is. Never. Both Glenda and Keisha are certain that it's a man named Harold, whom Glenda served in the military with 30-some years ago. But Harold strongly denies this claim. He insists the DNA test will uncover the truth. Here's Glenda and Keisha's story. 34 years ago, while serving in the military and stationed in Missouri, Glenda got the shock of her life.
After dating Harold for about 6 months, I found out I was pregnant. He left to go overseas, and I never heard anything from him anymore.
Even though she had been abandoned, Glenda was fortunate enough to find love with a man named Dennis.
Dennis and I fell in love, and he loved my daughter.
So check this out, right? Check this out. Let me go back a little bit.
Daughter.
So in other words, right? In other words, Glenda was dating Harold, right? 34 years ago, and she got pregnant, right? Had the baby. Harold went across seas because they both were in the military. So he smashed and dashed, and then she ended up meeting Dennis. Now check this out. Dennis is going to end up being the stepfather, and as you can see from this photo, he helped raise Keisha, right, from a very young age. Now Keisha looked like, to me, she looked like she's probably around 18 months right here, right? Yeah, probably 18 months going to 2 years. So he's been around for a long time, and he raised Keisha as his own daughter, right? His own daughter. But let's keep going.
Loved my daughter. Even though I had Dennis, I made it my mission to track Harold down.
Holding onto a phone number that Harold had given her over 20 years ago, Glenda made the call when Keisha was 19 years old.
When I found him, he was serving time. Shortly after that, disappeared.
Harold knew about me since when my mother first found out she was pregnant, and he did absolutely nothing about it. Never gave me a second thought. I think Harold is a coward.
Another 13 years would go by before Glenda and Keisha were able to find Harold again.
You know, I find it amazing that the daughter Keisha believed that Harold was a coward because she felt that he never gave her a thought when she wasn't there. Like, she didn't know the relationship between her mom and Harold. You know what I mean? All she knows is what her mom had to say. In my opinion, children should stay out of adult business, right? Children should stay out of it because there's a lot of dynamics to it of which you may not know. And in this case, I don't believe that she knew all of the dynamics between her mother, Glenda, and Harold, right? But according to her, you know, her potential father, Harold, right, is a coward, right? But let's keep going.
And it is hurtful to know that there's somebody else out there that's a part of you that doesn't even care.
Now, check this out. You see, she's crying. She believed that Harold is her dad, right? And she's hurt because she said there's somebody else out there that's a part of you, or that may be a part of you, and they don't even care. Now, again, she had a father. Her father was her stepfather. He was there with her from a very young age, right? So why does she even care if this other man cares to acknowledge her or not? Why does it even matter? When you had a father who loved you, provided for you, cared for you, treated you as if you were his own daughter. That's what he did. But it didn't matter to her, and it still don't. That's why she's right here crying. Again, that's why it doesn't make sense for a childless man to date, better yet marry, a baby mama. But let's keep going.
So, Glenda's husband of 29 years, Dennis, is in our audience. We're going to talk to him in a bit.
Yeah, let's see what Dennis have to say. I'm curious what Dennis have to say too.
Dennis is very much a part of this story. But as for Harold, Glenda hasn't seen Harold in 34 years. Your daughter, Keisha, has never met him. I want to show you a picture of Harold today, Glenda. Recognize that fellow? Think he looks like your daughter?
Yeah,
he looked like her.
yeah.
Now look at that. Look at that. Dennis couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to cut in. Now Maury is asking Glenda a question, not the stepdaddy, but look at the stepdaddy, right? Spirit of the stepdaddy. Shout out to Minister Jap. He just couldn't hold back. He just had to say something, right? He just had to get involved, right? And don't get any type of glory out of it. Ain't that something? But here we go. Let's keep going.
Think so, Dennis?
He looked like him, but he ain't no daddy. He looked like him, but he ain't no daddy.
He ain't no daddy. He looked like her, but he ain't no daddy. Well, guess what, buddy? You're saying it wrong. You mean she looked like him, but he ain't no daddy. That's what you really mean. She looks like him. How can he look like her? No, she looks like him, but he ain't no daddy. But let's keep going.
How in the world you?
By the way, everybody should know, Dennis has raised Keisha as his own.
Exactly. Dennis, the stepdaddy, has raised Keisha as his own, right? But let's see if Dennis get any glory. Let's check this out, y'all. Let's keep going.
You don't lift a baby and run away from it, and then turn around and say, you don't know what you did. You know you laid down with her, but then you run away from your responsibility. What type of man does that if you're a real man?
Right. But everyone should know, Glenda, including you, Harold's the one who called the show.
He got a lot of nerves.
Why?
A lot of nerves.
Why?
He knew when he left going overseas that I was pregnant with my child.
Yes, he may have known that you was pregnant with the child, Glenda, but it don't mean that he thought the child was his. He may have felt like you was sleeping around. You know, 6-month relationship, smash and dash. He might have thought that's all it was, okay? But let's keep going.
I had a number that he gave me where he stayed in Dallas, Texas.
Right.
I kept that number for over 20-something years until my daughter got ready to go to college. Never heard nothing from him until I made that call that 20-something years later and found out where he lived, and then he still did nothing. 13 more years go by. I goes on the internet just searching. I had to give myself some closure. I had to free my daughter from all the hurt, the pain that she has carried.
Now listen to that. All of the pain, the hurt, all of this that her daughter had to carry over the years, right? As if she didn't have a dad in her life. See, I can understand all of that if she would have grown up without her dad and allegedly Harold was the dad, but it was no man there to fill in as the dad. But she had a stepdad that was there ever since she could remember. But guess what? It wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. Stepfathers get no glory. They just don't, man. That's why we keep on saying in the black manosphere, right, that a childless man should not date nor marry a baby mama. But let's keep going.
These years, she gets angry with me. And I can feel the anger sometime when we sit down.
You think she blames you?
So she's 34 years old and she's still getting angry about this. She's angry with her mother about this, right? About her biological father. But again, he was absent, right? Now, allegedly, that's her biological father, right? We don't know yet if Harold is her biological father. But he was absent. He was not a part of her life, but she had a man that stepped in, filled the gaps, but it still wasn't good enough. Still wasn't good enough. Think on that.
In a way, because it made her feel without.
I see.
Even though Dennis was
Well,
there.
wait a minute. I want to talk to you about that.
Although Dennis was there, Keisha still felt without. That is insane. Because she still had a loving father, a stepfather, right? So why is she still worried about her biological father, of which don't want nothing to do with her, if he is her biological father? She's still angry about this. This is why, again, we're saying that it doesn't make sense for a childless man, right, to get involved with a baby mama. It's no glory in it, y'all. I'm telling you, it's no glory, man. It's none. That child is still going to be desiring some type of relationship with the biological father, right, over you. So again, think on that. But let's keep going.
Dennis,
Yes, sir.
that's your daughter?
Yes, sir. She's my daughter.
Yes, sir. She's my daughter. All right, let's keep going, Dennis.
That child right there, she hurts. A child needs to know their dad.
But I thought that was your daughter. I thought you was the dad. You just said that's your daughter. I thought you was the dad, Dennis. But now you sitting there saying that a child needs to know her daddy. Make up your mind, bro. Make up your mind. You sound confused. I guess that's the spirit of the stepdaddy for you. But let's keep going.
But now, she need to know him, but he ain't no dad. I'm her dad, and I'm the only dad she gonna have.
Okay. She need to know her dad, but I'm the only dad that she gonna have. Again, the logic of the stepfather. But let's keep going.
So when you finally talked to him, after all this time, Harold said, "Hi, Glenda, how you doing?"
Hi, lady.
Hi, lady.
How's it going? And I kept telling him we need to get this taken care of. We got to get this taken care of. I need my daughter to have some closure.
He's never wanted to meet your daughter.
I gave him before Thanksgiving. I told him to call.
I mean, what closure does she need? She already has a daddy. Her stepdaddy. He already said it. He is her daddy. So I don't understand what closure the girl needs. But again, this is why it doesn't pay to be a stepdad. I'm telling you, it just don't. Now, I can understand it more if you have children. Like, I get it. If you a baby daddy and then you decide to date and marry a baby mama, right? That makes more sense. It does, right? Because there's dynamics that both of y'all understand about that type of situation. But for a childless man, It just don't make sense for him to get involved in any type of bullshit like this. All right, but let's keep going.
Keisha.
Right.
You call her. She's a grown lady. You call and talk to her. Never called her. He didn't know what to say to her.
Okay. Harold's backstage. He paints a very different story. Watch this.
From the moment Glenda told me she was pregnant 35 years ago, I knew I wasn't the father. If I had been that girl's father, then tell me, why did Glenda disappear? The proof is in the pudding.
So according to Harold, Glenda disappeared, right? He didn't. She did. Ain't that something? They have totally different stories going on, right? Right? But let's keep going.
Blocked this from my mind, and I lived my life. Something I wish they would have done as well. If I was the right guy, then why wait 35 years to contact me? It's Glenda that has a dark cloud over her head. If she wasn't out there sleeping with so many men, then Keisha would know who her real father is.
I mean, hey, let's keep it real. It's a possibility that Glenda was sleeping with multiple men. It is a possibility, you know. He actually might be speaking facts right there, right? It's possible, but let's keep going.
Everybody welcome Harold to the show.
You call yourself a man, and you come out throwing bullets.
You call yourself a man and you come out throwing bullets. Look at that. The spirit of a stepfather, man. Stepdad. Look at him. Now, he wasn't there during those 6 months they was dealing with each other, or maybe he was. Maybe he was one of the men that she was sleeping around with, right? But I doubt he knows all the dynamics of the relationship that happened between them two. That's the point I'm trying to make, right? But here you go. So much to say. Instead of allowing Glenda to talk to Harold, he got so much shit to say. But let's keep going.
Be a man and step up to the plate. Quit making excuses for what you did. And then you run out of money. If she left. Let me tell you. She left because she was in the building. Let me tell you. That's why she left.
Damn. Dennis ready to put hands on Harold over this. He ready to put hands on him and telling him that he need to step up to the plate. But I thought you just said, Dennis, that you are the only dad of Keisha. You are her dad. You the only dad. I'm confused now. See, the logic, the stepdaddy logic is just confusing. I'm confused. But let's keep going.
Tell you one thing. You ain't gonna tell me nothing. You gonna need to tell you one thing. While you running your mouth. Let me tell you one thing while you running your mouth. If she hadn't been sleeping with Tom and Harold, she would know.
That's old school Tom, Dick, and Harold. or shall I say Harry? That is old school. But let's keep going.
Okay. Nice to see you, Harold. Harold, by the way,
Look at your daughter.
were you aware that she was pregnant when you left?
I was aware she was pregnant when I left. Okay. I went overseas, okay?
Yeah.
Right before I went overseas, she was with a man that had a wife, all right?
Wowzers. Now, again, that might be a fact. We don't know, right? They know, but we don't. But let's keep going.
I got overseas, we lost contact with each other, okay? I come home from the military. Something happened. I went away for some years, okay?
Right.
When I finally got back in touch, or when she got in touch with me, she tell me she had another man tested.
I
Okay,
did?
that means she was having one for breakfast and having me for lunch.
I got to agree with him. So why, if what he said isn't true, then why did she get another man tested? If she know that Harold is the father, you know. But let's keep going.
Because
She had another man tested.
you know that's your
You
child.
never met Keisha.
You know
have
that's
Never
your
have.
child.
you? You've
never
never
have.
seen her, right?
Never have.
I want to show you a picture of her, okay?
You know that's your child.
You think you look alike?
I think they look alike. They do, in my opinion. But let's keep going.
That's your daughter. What you done messed out on. That's your daughter.
He sees some similarity.
That's
don't
his daughter. I raised her. I with him.
And look at it. She's just crying. She is boo-hooing. But again, regardless if that's her biological father, she still had a father. She had a stepdad that loved her, provided for her, kept her safe, right? He protected her. He did everything that a man is supposed to do for his child. But guess what? That still wasn't enough. No, it's still not enough, right? That's why I'm like, who really wants to be a stepdad? It's no glory in it. It's a thankless job. But anywho, let's keep going.
Right.
Make it a point and go and see her.
Harold.
Yes.
She wrote you a letter when she was 19.
Yes, we
So
wrote
that's
each other.
about 15 years ago. What happened?
We wrote each other, okay? And we wrote each other. I wrote her back, and it was like the hostility was, you can see it in her because I saw it in Glenda when I talked to Glenda. And the hostility was like, what do you want? Why?
Of course, because the baby mama was bitter and she transferred that bitterness to the child, right? To Keisha. So yeah, of course Keisha was bitter. You know what I'm saying? But I don't understand why. I don't. And I'm saying it's because she had a father. Now, he wasn't her biological father, but he filled the gap, just like Dr. Boyce is doing for his stepchildren, right? Shouldn't that be enough? I mean, damn. But let's keep going.
Are you writing me? What do you need? I don't need anything. I'm writing in order to try to get to know you, okay?
All right. When we come back, we are going to meet Keisha and find out the result of this 34-year-old mystery. Truth continues. So before the break, we met Glenda and a man named Harold, who she is positive is the father of her 33-year-old daughter, Keisha. So the time has come to hear how Keisha feels.
Look at Keisha looking pitiful. Let's hear how Keisha feels.
About this DNA situation, and I'm going to get her. She is backstage. Keisha. You okay? All right. Okay. All right. We're going to come on stage now, and the first person you're going to see
first person she going to see is Harold in the flesh, right? Her alleged biological father. But let's keep going. I think that's nice. At that point, he definitely should hug her and embrace her, right? Because she actually may be his daughter. I mean, they do look alike. They do. She looks like him, in my opinion. You know, but let's keep going.
What bothers you the most? I know you're upset. I know you're emotional, and you have a right to be. Is it because he never contacted you?
Yeah, I just feel like, I felt all my life I've just felt like, why, if you was with someone and there was a possibility, how could you let so much time go and not even care to want to see me? I mean, I don't know, I have kids myself, and I couldn't imagine going a day without knowing if they're alive and well, if they're okay, if they need anything.
Now, I agree with what she's saying right there. You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine going a day without being concerned with the well-being of my children either, right? I'm always concerned about them when they're not with me, Even my son. Now, my son he's an adult, right? He's a grown man. Right now, he's a young man. However, I still think about him when he's not with me. You know what I mean? That's just the nature of being a parent. So I definitely agree with Keisha in what she's saying. And even as far as how she felt towards Harold, the possibility that he may be her biological father. But I still got to stand on the premise, right? Or the fact that she had a father growing up. So it's not like she was just there with her mother and her mother was alone. She had a man that filled in the gap and did everything right. So to me, right, I'm just saying from a certain point, a certain standpoint, I don't see why she should still be so hurt right? Then wanting to know your biological father, I understand that, but I'm like, I mean, she's like hurt, in my opinion, as if she didn't even have a dad, right? And she missed out on all the experiences of having a father in the house, but she had one, her stepfather, but it still was not good enough. It wasn't. And that's the point. But let's keep going.
I just don't understand.
Who's your dad?
Dennis.
See, she said Dennis is her dad. See what I'm saying? If Dennis is your dad and you acknowledge him as your dad, why are you even worried about Harold? That's my point. Now she's saying that, right? She's saying that. But her actions shows that she cares more about the approval and acknowledgement of her biological father or potential biological father, Harold, than she does about all of the resources, time, attention, affection, everything that was provided for her by Dennis. But let's keep going.
If Harold's your father, you want a relationship with him?
I don't know, because I don't know how we could start here. There's so much I don't know, he don't know. I've been taught everything I need to know about being a woman, what I need to know about men from him. There's no...
Exactly. Dennis taught her everything that she needed to know because he filled in the gap. He did. He was a good man for that. But my whole point is, do you want to be that guy? I know I didn't. Right? And I don't understand why any man, right, that is childless, I don't understand why any man that is childless would want to be that guy to fill in the gap and just get nothing out of it. Because again, the young lady, right, she's saying these things, but her actions, her tears, and all of that emotion that's going on right now is because she wanted and she desires the acknowledgement, the affection, and she wished that she had all of that from her biological father, not Dennis, her stepfather, right? This is what's going on. And this is why men like myself preach, right, here in the Black Manosphere, to all of you young men who are childless: do not get involved with, do not date and marry baby mamas, okay? But let's keep going.
The less I could get from him.
Now, Harold, you think you can cross that bridge?
Maury, there's nothing I can do to make up for the years that were lost, okay? The only thing I can do from here is try to get to know her, all right? Try to get to know her kids, all right? I made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes, but I was never been one to run off and leave his responsibilities, you know?
But that's how I felt. That's how I felt. Like I wasn't good enough. I know you got other kids.
See, and again, she said, you heard that. She's like, she felt like she wasn't good enough, right? So the acknowledgement, right, the affection, the attention, all of that, the protection and resources from her biological father or potential biological father means more to her than all of the stuff her stepfather have done for her over the last 34 years. Unbelievable. That's what I'm saying. It is a thankless job. It's no glory in it, man. And this is why I'm encouraging you young guys. I know I'm being repetitious. I keep saying it, right? And it's because us humans, we learn through repetition. We learn skill through repetition. And this is why I keep saying it, that childless men do not need to get involved with, meaning date or marry, right, baby mamas. But let's keep going.
But I think everything I've been through in my life always go back to how could somebody, if I can't be loved by the person who made me, how could I expect somebody else to love me?
But see that don't even make sense. Now potentially Harold is your biological father. You feel as if he didn't love you, but guess what? Dennis did. The stepfather loved you. This is why he did all of these things for you. He loved you as if you were his own biological child, but it still isn't good enough. It just isn't. And she's proving it. It's still not good enough. But let's keep going.
It wasn't about running off. It wasn't about neglect. I was never that type of person. I've never
Harold,
been that type of
it looks like you, by looking at her, you can make a connection.
person. Yes, I hope so.
Why don't we find out? We will leave no doubt. Okay. In the case of 33-year-old Keisha, Harold, you are the father.
So Harold is the father, right? As you can see, Harold is the father. So it worked out, right? And she's happy. So this is a story with a good ending. But my point is this: do you want to be Dennis, fellas? Do you want to be that guy? Do you want to be that man that fill in the gap and do everything that is right? Everything you're supposed to do for your children, right? But don't get any glory, or you got to share it with another man. Is that what you want? I know that's not what I wanted, and that's definitely something that I don't want for my son, right? Definitely is not something I want from him. And I know that's not anything that he wants, right? Because we have standards and we have expectations. Yes, we do. So again, this is why I'm saying, right? This is why I'm saying that childless men do not need to marry, or shall I say date or marry, right? Baby mamas. Case in point, I just proved it, right? I just proved it again with Maury Povich, right? With this whole situation between Glenda, right? Harold, Dennis, and Keisha. So please drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, right? And I'll catch y'all on the next one. So peace. I'm out.